Eddie McGUIRE is facing calls for his sacking after that report was handed down saying there was systemic racism within Collingwood. We spoke to Eddie McGUIRE, who was here to promote the upcoming series of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which was on tonight and will be on tomorrow night. This interview was recorded before those reports came out, but we still thought it would be interesting to hear what he had to say about his future in the AFL and also Andrew O'Keefe and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, he's been on our screens for decades and has appeared on just about every TV show. So I guess it was only a matter of time before Eddie McGUIRE made his debut on the Ange Robin Robbo show. Eddie, it is an honour to have you join us.
Good on you, Rob. I've made it now, mate. That's it. I can put the cherry on the cake. I'm here.
Oh, Eddie, you're very kind. Hey, look, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire has returned to primetime with the final special airing tomorrow night. Can you believe you've been involved with one of the most successful game shows ever in Australian television?
Yeah, it's been quite incredible. I remember back in 1999 when it started with Chris Tarrant in the United Kingdom. And the second shows, I think, was almost a dead heat between the Dutch and ourselves to get the second show on. And then it just took off right around the world, and Regis Philbin in the United States. And you read Bob Iger's book these days, and he basically says it was what kept CBS afloat at that stage. So it's been an amazing show right around the world. It was the number one show in Australia for a number of years, of course. And then we've been able to spin it off into a hot seat and have a strip show at 5 o'clock, 5:30 originally, and 5:30. So it's had three different incarnations as far as Australia's concerned. So I've been very keen for a long time. Nine have been keen. Have been waiting for the right opportunity, and that opportunity has arisen because the tennis has been pushed back. So here we are, and as you've seen, it's been fantastic shows so far, and great response, and looking forward to finishing it off. But it's hopefully with any luck, it might even come back in a more regular scenario, or at least as specials through the course of the year. But it's been great fun getting the old format back. Of course, different these times, and you've seen the pressure that's put on me these days with, instead of ask the audience, they get to ask the host, and 50-50 is still there. And, of course, you can switch the question out these days. But, it's a bit different. In the old days, I used to enjoy watching them all stewing in their own fat, if you like. And now every question that comes up, I'm trying to work it out myself before I even read it out. So I don't see the questions. The $1 million is always in play. So it's as simple as that. There's no help coming my way.
Mate, when this show first launched, look, it really did take the nation by storm. I want to show you this classic moment with Molly Meldrum. Let's have a look.
Chevron for $500,000 is the meat of which animal? Is a goat for $500,000.
I mean, who knew Molly was so smart?
Yeah, well, I did. He's been a great mate and even a mentor of mine for so many years, Molly. And as it turned out, he was the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And it was just an amazing. Molly still talks about it as being, almost his greatest experience on television. Because, as you just said, Rob, a lot of people saw Molly as a bit of a bumbler and all this. Obviously behind the scenes, she was a journalist and, great broadcaster. And, you don't get as far as Molly without having a fair amount of brains. Mind you, he'd done plenty of silly things over the years and carried on.
Now, you talked about Hot Seat, and look, this has really kicked goals in the afternoon. I remember when I was working for Nine, and David Gingell took great delight that Hot Seat was there delivering those numbers, and then he really put pressure on myself making the news promos and the news team to work hard, keep those numbers that you were delivering them, and increase them to boost the 6 p.m. audience. How important is the lead-in you provide, Nine, in helping the 6 p.m. news?
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, to launch your prime time schedule. And we're doing really well on the East Coast. Channel 9 for some reason doesn't rate in Adelaide and Perth, but on the East Coast, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Sydney, obviously, it's doing really well. It wins basically, but it's close. The Chasers with Andrew O'Keefe, a great show. And, I'm rapt that they're both doing well because it means that local production's doing very well.
Do you think you and Andrew O'Keefe will be butting heads for the next 50 years? Whatever game show it is, whether it's Hot Seat or some other show, it'll be you and Andrew O'Keefe in the afternoons battling it out?
Oh, it's good. And, and Andrew and I have worked together. We hosted the Logies together with Rove McManus. And he actually got his break in television, as he laughs about, doing parodies of me on one of the sketch comedy shows. So in some ways, I've created my own monster to try and slay. But he's a great fellow, Andrew. I think the world of him. I think he's a great entertainer as well. And so it's good at the moment. We're both doing well enough to keep the home fires burning.
Now, before I let you go, Eddie, word on the street is that AFL CEO Gil McLachlan will step down within 12 months. We obviously know you're leaving Collingwood at the end of the year. So could you see yourself transitioning over to the AFL CEO?
No.
Pure and simple. But see, I actually think you'd be great, Eddie. You've got the experience. You've been a CEO. You've got a love for the game. Why isn't this something you could do?
No, it's not. I mean, I've been president of the Collingwood Football Club, and I've decided after round 3, I'll have been the president at more games in the history of the competition. So there's other things. I'm fully immersed in my media career, and that's what I want to do over the next period of time. Where I've got a business that's growing well. A lot of other things that I want to do. I've been involved in football. I got my first media pass when I was 13 years of age to cover the game, and have loved it. There hasn't been a weekend since the time I was 5 that I haven't been fully immersed. I like actually giving back to football, so there might be other roles for me to play as I go, but no, I don't covet the CEO's role, and I hope that Gil stays on. I know word on the street's one thing, but we're going through tough times with this COVID in all sports, and to have somebody of Gil's tremendous acumen, being the caretaker for our sport, has been wonderful in the last 12 months. And we need him in the next 12 months, and I think we need him for a few more 12 months after that. So if he is thinking, or people are talking about it, I'll be the opposite. I'll be talking him out of it, trying to keep him in the chair as long as we possibly can, because he does a fantastic job. So no, it's not something I covet, not even something I'm even thinking about.
Fair enough. Well, you talked about your media career. Hopefully we'll see more of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back in prime time where it belongs. It continues tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. on Channel 9. Eddie, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Great to be with you, and congratulations on everything you're doing. So many new things to do in media, and you're leading the way here, Rob. So, these are the things we're looking at. So congratulations for everything you're doing, and thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, Eddie, that's very kind. Cheers.
Good on you, mate. The new highlight of my life, being on the show with you, Rob.